Hi Leo, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nina, otherwise known as Sinfulpluto, and today we are doing your Mercury retrograde general readings. I'll try not to make these super long because retrograde isn't going to be lasting that long. It'll be until March 9th. So I just wanted to get these out because people wanted them. So yeah, this is going to apply to Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get right into it. This is a general reading. Before I get into anything, let me just say this is a general reading. It's not going to apply to everyone, and that is okay. Please use your discernment and your critical thinking while watching this video. Enjoy yourself and, just chill out for a second. If it doesn't resonate, that's fine. It's not going to resonate with everyone, so keep that in mind. I'm using the Spacious Tarot, by the way, for anyone who's curious. And with that being said, let's get started. So what's going on for Leos this Pisces Mercury retrograde? What's going on for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus during this Pisces Mercury retrograde? All right, well, we have two cards that fell out, and then the Page of Swords reversed. Okay, so we have the Guardian of Wands reversed, which is the Queen of Wands reversed. We have the Seven of Swords reversed. We have the Child of Swords reversed, or the Page of Swords reversed. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed, the Seven of Cups, and the Chariot. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Moon, which is Pisces, Cancer energy. So maybe you're dealing with a Pisces or a Cancer. Especially with the Chariot card here, you really could be dealing with a Cancer, but it doesn't have to be. So Leo, you might be coming through as the Queen of Wands reversed. The feeling that I get with the Queen of Wands reversed is being very outspoken, but it's not received very well, or it's not expressed very well. With this card, to me, this kind of seems like you speaking your mind and you being honest, or what you perceive as honest, but it's not taken very well. People around you might have their feelings hurt by what you say, or just because of a general lack of mindfulness of your words and your tone and things like that. There might be some sort of issue with people kind of taking offense to whatever it is that you have to say, even though you're not trying to be offensive, even though you're not trying to offend anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. It could just be that with the Pisces Mercury retrograde, everyone is just being a little bit sensitive, a little bit more emotional, a lot's going on, everything feels really fuzzy and really not clear. So it could just be that with this retrograde, you might need to watch out and really be careful with what you say and how you say it and how you express it and the tone in which you use and things along those lines, because it could be that, with the energy that's going on around right now, your words, whether or not they are especially if they're with good intent, even if they have good intent, they might not be taken well. So I would be careful, and I would encourage you to use kind of a softer tone, or to kind of think before you speak, to think of a different way to express yourself before you really go out and say it, because you might end up just hurting someone's feelings if you end up kind of just bursting into something, burst out saying something or being super loud about something or whatever. Not to say that being loud is wrong, but people are just sensitive. Just be mindful of what you say, how you say it, and that sort of thing, so that you don't end up getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So Seven of Swords reversed, to me, talks about that planning, thinking ahead of time, being mindful, that sort of thing, so that you don't end up kind of alienating yourself, or unintentionally creating some sort of drama, creating some sort of issue that that could just be avoided, So that's kind of what this is saying to me. And with the Page of Swords reversed, this to me talks about really hurtful words. This to me talks about just being really mean And again, it could be that you are either intentionally or unintentionally doing this. Whatever the case is, the Seven of Swords reversed really encourages you to like take a step back and really reflect, okay, well, if you are trying to hurt someone's feelings, why are you trying to hurt someone's feelings? Why are you trying to get a rise out of them? Why are you trying to get a reaction out of them? Why do you feel pleasure in someone else's displeasure or dissatisfaction, or in someone else's pain or hurt, or, you know, whatever it is, right? Why do you find a satisfaction in that? Are you trying to find some sort of ego trip in hurting other people with your words? You know what I'm saying? And if it's not intentional, then, you know, ask yourself, what can I do to be more mindful of my words? What can I do? How can I better word things? Or how can I better approach the situation? How can I better do this or better do that? How can I improve on this, and this? You know, like just kind of work on reflecting on that and see what comes up. You know what I'm saying? And with the Page of Swords reversed, this to me also says like, this is kind of like fickle energy, or just like saying one thing, doing another. So I think with this retrograde, it's so important for you to not only be clear as to your intentions and what you truly want to gain out of situation with someone else, whether it's romantic or platonic or familial or whatever sort of relationship this is. I think it's so important to be clear as to your intentions, what you want to do, what you don't want to do, like all of that sort of stuff. But also, like, if, for example, if you're going to make plans with someone, then stick to those plans. Obviously, you know, we all have like last minute sort of things that sometimes come up, and that's fine. But if you end up committing yourself to something, and then if you end up committing yourself to something and you do this with the intention of like never actually going, you know, don't actually commit yourself, because there are some people who say like, yeah, let's hang out, and then they never follow through, and then it ends up just kind of like hurting the other person's feelings or whatever have you, right? So don't commit yourself to things that you genuinely don't want to follow through with. And that's like, you know, it's fine if you don't want to follow through with them, but, you know, be mindful of saying one thing and then doing another, or saying one thing and meaning another, or anything along those lines. And if you find yourself in situations where you want to be honest, or where you want to be blunt about something, that's fine. You definitely can. But, you know, refrain from language that is like hurtful, or that is like accusatory, or anything like that. If you need to have a conversation with someone during this retrograde, you know, express to them how you feel about the situation without trying to point the finger at them or make them feel guilty or accuse them of anything. Just say like, from my perspective, this and this is like, this is what I perceive from this perception or from this situation, and I would appreciate if this and this happened, or whatever. Just like try to have adult conversations. You just use your discernment during this time. Really reflect on what you want to say, how you want to say it, so that you don't end up having some form of conflict that can be avoided. You know, I think being careful with your words is so important, especially with this specific retrograde, and with like all like the sun is literally just moved into Pisces, and then eventually everything else will be in Pisces. So, but anyways, so that's really what I can say for you, Leo, so far, is like, just be careful with your words. Be careful of like what you commit to, and if you're actually willing to commit to them. Obviously, if you have a last minute emergency that's completely out of your control and you can't help it, like, of course, I understand that. That's human, it happens. But if you can help it, and if there's anything that you can control, you know, try to, go follow through with your commitments, whatever they are. And with this Three of Pentacles reversed, be careful of any sort of friction or tension with coworkers or with friends, classmates, that sort of thing. I feel like you might become a little bit overbearing, or a little bit too outspoken with working with other people. Maybe you try too hard to be like the leader in some way, or you try too hard to be like in control of a project, or in control of the way in which you and your coworkers move at work, or whatever it is, right? Like, I just see someone trying too hard to be in control, trying to be the leader, when there shouldn't necessarily be a clear leader. It should just be like a sort of open, collaborative thing where everyone gets to contribute, not someone trying to be in control of everything and trying to basically do all of the work because they think they know best. If that kind of makes sense. So that's kind of like what I would say for you so far, Leo. And then I have a 7 of Cups here, which talks about a lack of clarity, a lot of confusion, really feeling really scattered. And I think that's why it's so important to really be open to collaboration, to teamwork, and to listening to other people's ideas and what they have to offer, and let them kind of take the reins a little bit, because you don't have to be in control of everything. You don't have to be the one who is in control of the reins all of the time. You don't have to be the one who is like, doing all of the work, especially when no one is asking you to do all of the work, especially when everyone is trying to do their part, but you're not letting them. That's kind of like the whole vibe that I get with this. And with the Chariot, this is interesting. With the Chariot, this kind of feels like you rushing. This kind of feels like the energy of you trying to rush into things, or you trying to like get over things very quickly, or like trying to like brush over them very quickly and not really give it your whole like entire attention to it, if that kind of makes sense. It kind of just seems like just not wanting to stop. That's what it feels like. It's like not wanting to stop, not wanting to take a break, not wanting to acknowledge this or not wanting to acknowledge that, whatever this is. And so I feel like for you, Leo, you might need to like just work on slowing down a little bit so that you can feel a little bit more clear, a little bit more grounded, that sort of thing. Because I think that by trying to rush everything, by trying to like speed up the process of everything, that's not really going to help you. If anything, it's going to lead to more confusion, and I think to a lot more sloppy work. And I think it's going to lead to a lot more like conflict and tension with coworkers, classmates, friends, even, or whatever team that you're on or in. Anything that requires teamwork, anything that requires like collaborative work, that sort of thing. Just like I feel like there kind of is this need to slow down a little bit for you, Leo, during this retrograde, and to not necessarily go backstage, but kind of just allow other people to take the spotlight for a second, because I just see you trying to be in the spotlight for too long and kind of just like hogging it, like hogging the spotlight, hogging control, hogging all of this other stuff. And it's not like, it's creating tension, it's creating friction, and it's just not a good look. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. That's really all I have to say, Leo. So these are all things that I would encourage you to be mindful of. All right. Share the spotlight with other people. Be open to other people's ideas and implement their ideas into whatever collaborative work that you are doing. That sort of thing. Be mindful of, coming off too strong, or, just saying things that can be said differently, that can be said with a different tone, that sort of thing. Just be, think before you speak and that sort of thing, and be careful of like trying to rush into anything. So yeah, that's what I really have for you, Leo. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below if you liked it, if it resonates, if it helps in some sort of way. I would love to hear your feedback. Give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone else who needs to hear this message. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so at Sinfulpluto.com. And if you want to find me on social media, you can do so on Twitter and Instagram at Sinfulpluto. So with that being said, I'll talk to you later, Leo. Bye.